Hey everybody, it's Greg with Leapfrog Landcare. Wanted to talk to you real quick about systemic treatments on trees and shrubs, okay? So systemic treatments typically are treatments that are injected into the soil or they're treated onto the trunk of the tree and have a ingredient that helps them get through the cambium layer, the bark layer of the tree, and get into the sap flow. So whether it's going through the trunk spray or the injection into the soil, the bottom line with that treatment is it's getting into the sap flow of the tree or shrub, and the tree or shrub takes it up through the limbs, through the leaves, etc. The wild thing with it, not every systemic works on every pest, okay? To help make that make a little more sense, think about yourself. Sometimes you may go to a doctor and they may prescribe an antibiotic for you and say it's one for an ear infection or something like that. You're taking an antibiotic for a sinus infection or ear infection, and say something else goes wrong a few weeks later and you're back at the doctor and they say, we need to get you on an antibiotic. And you go, well, hey, I'm already on amoxicillin for whatever it is. And they go, well, that's great, but you really need doxycycline because it's a different antibiotic and it works on these issues. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully so. The systemic treatments are the same way. There's some stuff, for example, that works on soft scale bugs and can work on Japanese beetles and aphids. Hehowever, some of that doesn't work on armored scale insects. So part of the biggest thing that we have to do as arborists and plant professionals is determine what pest we're going after and the best, safest mode to attack it, okay? So there's a product, for example, there's a bug right now that's going crazy on crepe myrtles called crepe myrtle bark scale, okay? It's a white fluffy looking bug. You mess with it and you'll see all kind of bloody oozy stuff coming out of it, but it's expected to spread rapidly here in North Carolina because we have an overabundance of crepe myrtle trees. The wild thing with it, there's a systemic treatment that helps to minimize aphid damage on crepe myrtles and helps to minimize Japanese beetles damage on crepe myrtles, but unfortunately that systemic doesn't work on crepe myrtle scale, okay? So you may have to have, depending on what you're going after, you may have to have two different types of systemics to treat your tree or shrub for different issues. So wanted to explain that. I hope that makes sense, especially the little analogy with different types of antibiotics attack different types of bacteria in your body. Same with the systemic treatments for trees and shrubs. Different varieties go after different pests. Biggest thing is identifying what's going on and the best way to treat it, whether it's for you personally or for your plants. I hope that information helps.